Hello everybody and welcome to the Zone Gaming Go. My name is Silvokiji and this is Choosing a Character Part 2. This is the second half of the base roster of the game. We're going to be going through each one of these characters, like small little gimmicks, small passives, things that they can do. Now this is not a character guide. If you want to see character guide, you can check the playlist, which is the One Piece Burning Blood guides, which will have character guides for some of these characters featured. I will go ahead and tell you what character guides are already made before this video, but any guides that are made after this video, of course, I cannot tell you that. The first character we're talking about is Luffy 3K. This is a nickname that me and my friends actually made for this character. Luffy 3K stands for the fact that he's the 3,000 point Luffy. There are actually 5 Luffys in this game. Wait a minute. Yeah, 5 different Luffys in this game, and Luffy 3K is basically his nickname. So he's a speed type character, Delprete, Hockey. He's actually Conqueror's Hockey. With Conqueror's Hockey, like I explained before in the previous video, it allows you to lift your opponent in the air. Ooh, my bad. It allows you to activate a flinch effect again right after you do a flinch. It basically gives you a lot of tools. This gives Luffy a very strong combo game and a very versatile moveset. He has a lot of very rush down capabilities as a character, not to mention when he actually does get these attacks off, he can easily combo you into big damage. Now, I have mentioned before that Luffy 3K has a very hard time getting in, and of course most people agree with me or disagree with me, or most mains disagree with me, and that's understandable because if you're playing this long enough, then of course it's not going to take you that long to kind of figure out how to get in between you and your opponent, or get to you and your opponent. Okay, next character is Zorro, 2500, the swordsman of the day. He is a power type character, Hockey. Now, one of the big things I want to say about Zorro is that he actually has 2 different range attacks, which is amazing considering the fact that he is primarily a melee-based character. Now, in that case, he has a very good setup move that he can do when a person gets on the ground to basically make that person block when they raise up. Now, in high-level play, there is a ton of people trying to jump in with jump attacks and jump uniques, and Zorro's defensive game that he can do, a very strong defensive actually, can really put people in their place. He has one of the strongest special attacks in the game, 3,000 worlds, as well as one of the most easy confirmed ultimates in the game as well, just like Mihawk. So in terms of damage, he doesn't lack it. Now, unlike the other power type characters, he has to deal kind of combos in order to deal damage. Not really big combos or anything, just kind of there. Okay, next character is Usopp, another one of my favorite characters in this game. Usopp is a tricky based character. He has 2,000 points. He has no Delfruit, no Hockey, so you have to rely on his amazing range. Now, he's a zoning type character, so if people accuse you of spamming, just flip them off in your head and ignore them. What this character does, it keeps your keeps your opponent at bay for a long period of time, chipping them away, dealing constant damage. He has different traps he can use. He has all different setups. He has 80% damage in combos. His ultimate is also very unique because when he goes into his awakening, he actually lays down a trap that actually becomes a immobilizing trap when they activate it, and then it becomes a knockup, which allows them to further use, for combo stuff. It is his only knockup ability. But, Usopp actually gets away with doing the stupidest things because he's a range-based character, and that's literally all he can do. He also has a special effect that allows him to pinpoint people with his range moves, so he doesn't have to aim most of the time. Next character is Sanji. Now Sanji, now Sanji is 2,500 points, technical based character, Hockey. He excels in combos which are not flash counterable. He has a lot of capabilities in the air with his Skywalk special movement, which allows him to combo people in the air. One of the things I need to mention too before we actually get further into Sanji is that he cannot attack females. Instead, he goes into his love mode, where instead of attacking females, he blows them a heart. What the heart does, that it quickly removes burning gauge. So, although it doesn't deal as much damage, actually does like 1% probably, it does drastically remove your opponent's burning gauge if you have a female character. Other than that, he has another passive, which if he has a girl on his team or female on his team, he gets a +1 power buff. Now, this is not stat. You cannot have 2 females on your team and expect to get +2. It only goes up to +1. It is a very simplistic ability, but it kind of like balances out the fact that he cannot attack females, so he gets encouraged from them. Now, if he did have +2, it probably could be messed up, because then he'd be one of the only characters capable of hitting +9, or one of the few characters hitting +9 with support characters. Coming up next is Nami, another trap-based character. She is tricky, 2,000 points. She is also really fun to use. She utilizes things called these thunder traps or thunder tempo, which lay on the ground. With the thunder tempo, she has the ability to bring them towards his opponent, or perhaps use another special attack to actually combo with them together. So she can actually combo two of her special moves together. She has another special attack which creates a giant thundercloud which strikes periodically on the ground. This also encourages people to move when they're fighting Nami and gives her opportunity to set up traps and just makes their life a living hell. Like, her whole entire game are traps. Now, against Conqueror's hockey characters can actually burst away projectiles, so she pretty much be kind of weak. So that's something about. Something else too is that I do have a guide for Luffy 3K as well as a guide for Nami on the channel, so you can check those out. Now, Chopper, 2,000 points, tricky top character, Delprete, one of the most least used characters in the game, probably not the most loved character in the game. He is a very funky character. He has two different styles, which makes him unique. He has the Brain Point, which is the one you see right now, and then he has the Kung Fu Point, which he can transform with a special attack. This gives him good capabilities when going up against people. Now, as Brain Point, he doesn't really utilize much of his attack power. He actually sucks, to be honest, in terms of fighting. He does gain the ability to heal with his unique button, so he can heal people with unique. When he goes into Kung Fu Point, he actually can fight. He does a ton of damage in Kung Fu Point. The only problem is getting to it, and also with some characters like Whitebeard and Blackbeard, they can actually knock him out of it, or perhaps without a Delph ability, he cannot transform at all. Nico Robin is a 2,000 point character, tricky. She is Delphrute, 2,000 points. So one of the special things about Nico Robin is that she uses her hands to fight. Well, she has the power of the Hana Hana fruit, which allows her to create limbs in different places. Utilizing this in the game, if she actually, how can I say this, moves her hands, if you attack her, or whenever you attack her, she's basically sending a signal to her hands on the ground. So if you attack her, the hands on the ground will still do their performed action, which means when actually going against Nico Robin, it's not as simple as punishing her after she gets done doing her actions. You have to actually watch the ground, so she can actually use her move, hit you on the ground with the hands, you can block it, and then she can just run away. She's pretty much a very safe character to use. She also has a very strong heavy guard break known as the Blender, told by myself in TheZoneGamingGo. And this gives her extremely strong capabilities when dealing with characters that cannot fight against it, as what it does is that when she forms a heavy guard break, even if you hit her, it still activates because of what she can able to do. Now, other than that, she has a very strong trap ability that she can do. It's very long, allows her to actually bring another character for a safe switch and also go in with a combo. Next character coming in is Frankie, 2,000 points, power type character. Now, Frankie is the pure definition of power. If you want any average character in this game to be the definition of power, it is Frankie. Even though he's 2,000 points, he has a special meter called the Koala meter, which gives him the ability to use his strongest move, Coup de Burst. With Coup de Burst, it does a ton of damage, is unity chain capable, but he can only do it up 3 times before having to drink more Koala. Of course, you can always switch out to, restock and everything. Other than that, Frankie has a special awakening, which allows him to go into his Frankie Shogun, giant character, which does an insane amount of chip damage, possibly one of the strongest giant characters in the game. Actually, I view it as the strongest giant character in the game by far, and very difficult to go up against in a 1v1 situation. He also has an insane amount of range attacks despite being a power character, which actually helps him as a zoner as well as getting close to other opponents. Brook, tricky type character, 2,000 points, Delprete. Now, Brook is a very different character. He probably takes place mainly in the support role. Just like Chopper, he is able to heal his allies. He's also able to give an attack buff and defense buff according to his note bar. He has a special bar that if he plays the right type of music at the right type of order, he can basically give benefits. Like I said, defense, +1 defense buff, +1 attack buff, or he can heal you for 15 or 20% of your HP. Other than that, Brook actually is one of the few other characters with a poison move. He also has a special passive that when he's in the air, he actually floats, so he can actually fly. He's also able to do several different attacks in the air because of that delayed. I think that's pretty much it for what I can say about Brook. Oh yeah, he also has a stun. I have to mention that too. Now Law, technical based character, 2,500 points, hockey and Delphrute. Now Law is really interesting. He is also considered a trap character. Now Law without his, what I'm about to tell you next, is actually not very strong. But with his room activated, which is one of his special attacks, he gains insane capabilities, giving him the ability to teleport, giving him a giant AoE heavy guard break, also insane special attack combos, insane special attack damage. All that stuff comes in when he activates his room. Now, room has 3 different spaces. It's a giant how can I describe room? It's a giant bubble. So yeah, small room, medium room, and large room. Something else I need to mention is that even his ultimate activates large room automatically upon, using it. And he can also activate room utilizing his Unity Assist. Or is it Unity Chain? No, it's Unity Assist. Maybe. It's either Unity Assist or Unity Clash. We'll check back on that. Now Kid, 2,000 points, power type character, Delprete, no hockey. This character is one of the de facto meanings of this character. No, that's not de facto, that's not the right word. He is the worst character against Logi. The worst. The reason for that is that this character actually has a thing called his metal arm. He has 3 levels of arm. The first is you see right now is level 0. And then he has level 1, and then he has level 2. Each time the arm will get stronger. Okay? And not only that, but all of his other effects will gain different properties. At level 2 arm, Kid is basically a 3,000 point character in terms of power level and everything. Generally, he's not viewed as one of the best because he can't really do chain combos with other people because he relies on his arm so much. If you switch out or get knocked down, the arm is removed. So usually he has to be the guy in most of the time for you to benefit from that arm level. But the damage he can deal with level 2 arm is so insane, he puts every other character in this game in shame. Okay, Drake, technical base character 2000, Delprete. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I can't say much about this character at all. All I can tell you is that he is still undiscovered. I still haven't seen anybody play with him that is actually good. And he can transform into a giant T-Rex. Now, if that is what you love, or it's not a T-Rex, it's an Allosaurus Rex? Allosaurus or something? But if that's what you love, you can play as this character. Other than that, he has counter options, he has blocking, he has insane startup, he has a very good special movement, and he fights with 2 weapons, so, that's also cool. And most of his attacks are double hitting. So his heavy guard break is his guard break is a double hit. His heavy guard break is actually a command grab. And he has very good jumping attacks. Now, I'm not going to get into much detail about Bartholomew. 2,000 points, tricky character, Delprete, because it is just too much. He has a taunt, which allows him to actually give 3 different types of debuffs and 3 different types of buffs. So he has 6 different possibilities doing this taunt. It's completely random. But if you are going against a Straw Hat Pirate or anybody like that is basically together with them, he will only do the buffs, because he will never, ever, ever debuff his people that he loves, or his heroes. Other than that, he has one of the strongest special attacks. When I mean by strong, I don't mean in power. He has the move called Barrier, which blocks everything. Nothing in this game can beat Barrier. Once he puts up Barrier, he can use it to switch out between him and his allies. He can also throw the Barrier at other people, and he can also run with the Barrier. It's already anticipated or already known that when Bartholomew was put in this game, he didn't really fight much at all in the series. It only demonstrated Barrier. So his moveset was pretty unique and was pretty made up. But, we all love it. Now, Doflamingo, the character's name that I've been saying wrong all this time. Thanks a lot for telling me. He is a Delprete character, 3,000 points, hockey, conquers hockey actually, and he is insane. The reason I say that he actually is literally insane. Like, as a person, I think he is literally insane. Doflamingo is another zoning type character. He is probably he's the only 3,000 point character that is purely made to zone. He can create Black Knight, or not Black Knight, or puppets of himself to other people, so he can attack from afar. His heavy guard break has infinite range. He also has flying capabilities. He has an infinite ultimate. He keeps your opponent on their toes repeatedly, no matter who they are. You have to watch him, and he's hard to get in contact with. One of the players that participates in the tournaments, Daddy Dofi, actually plays Doflamingo as well as Doflamingo Duel. You can check his character analysis or team analysis video in the team analysis section or playlist of TheZoneGamingGo. I did not have a guide for him, and I probably won't put a guide for this character because I feel like if I make a guide for this character, then a certain someone will have a lot to say. Okay, next character, Pt2. Pt2 is the worst character in this game by far. I don't care what anybody says. Let's just say it like that. 3,000 points, power character, Delprete, and hockey. Now, the thing about Pt2 that makes him strong is that he has a move that can basically place your opponent on the ground like a gravity well. He has the power of gravity. I do not know what the ability is called, or Delprete is called, I mean. So with this gravity move, it basically puts people in place, like I said before, which allows him to do additional combos and stuff to that person. Now, just like Zorro, he is a 2-digit character person. So he generally uses 2 combos, or 2 attacks to do a combo. He has a special passive, which no one uses, that after 10 seconds, it buffs the ability of his next attack. It is probably not needed, but I guess it's just something cool to have. But in order for it to charge up, you cannot unsheath your sword. Now there are certain moves that you can do that will actually keep your sword sheathed, and no, you have to keep Fujitora in for it to actually charge up. Burgess, power character, the wrestler of the game. Burgess is 2,000 points. None of that. He doesn't need it. He has 3 different grabs. That's all you need. That's all you know about Burgess. He has a drop kick. He has a ton of unblockables. He has a projectile blocker, whatever. He has his special movement goes through projectiles. His entire definition of Burgess is to get close, grab you, kill you. And +1, he can kill you in 3 grabs. That is it. That's all you need. That's the power of this character. Next character is Smoker. This is the 3K version. We just call this Smoker. I don't understand why we never call this Smoker 3K, but he's an all-around character. Delprete hockey. The main difference between this Smoker and the other Smoker is that this Smoker has hockey. His moves have special benefits. He gains a anti-air combo. He actually can combo more often. And on top of that, he's just amazing. There's some more differences in him. He's slower than the other Smoker is. You're going to have to actually play as this character to figure it out. If you want to main both Smokers, you can go ahead and do it. Just understand the difference between them when you actually do it. Pt2 Bone Clay, 2,000 points, technical. Despite him being called Bone Clay in here, I'm just so used to calling Pt2 because that is actually what I've known him always as. Delfruit character. He is different. He has one of the weirdest unique moves, as it is able to cancel out of any attack he does. So he can attack, unique, do a little spin, cancel it out, and he can do this to reset stupid combos. Like he can heavy guard break twice. Heavy guard breaks are extremely slow, in case you didn't know. So he can heavy guard break, and then cancel it out, and then do it again, and then cancel it out, and then just walk away. That's how strong this character is. He also has an additional move that I need to mention, which is uses the ability of his clone fruit, which allows him to transform to people. So this is actually character specific. Not all these characters in this game are affected by this, but he will turn into a person or a female or something that they know, and the other person and the other player or the opponent will get stunned. Now, like I said, it doesn't work on every character. This is something you have to try out or figure it out, or possibly like just guess. If you actually watch One Piece, you'll know. Another zoning type character, and Nari is here, all-around character, 2,500. He is Delfruit, no hockey. He has one of the greatest special movements, teleports out of the way. His range game is insane. He's actually, you know what? I did say before, the best character in range might have been Usopp, or I think it was Usopp that I said. I'm going to go and just straight up say it's actually Enel, so excuse me if I did lie to you. Enel is the strongest zoning character in this game. Now, he can be countered by Conqueror's hockey characters, and he is frowned upon because people don't like fighting characters that don't do combos. I keep mentioning that because it's so true. It's like people, when you're going up against someone who's zoned, just because you can't get close doesn't mean they're spamming. It just means you need to figure out how to get close. This character has insane capabilities to keep your opponent away. He also has the ability of drums, so he can actually press the unique button to charge up the drums on his back there, as you can see. And when he gets to 4 drums, his 3 special attacks will actually gain different effects, and they will also be even bigger than they were before. Like huge. You're going to have to look at them to know what I mean. Now, he can actually transform with his awakening into his Amari form, which is a giant lightning monster-looking thing, whatever, that's also really strong. Not the best, but better than other giant awakenings in this game. Oh, he can also revive himself when he has 4 drums and he dies. Now, Perona. Now, the thing that makes Perona unique about this is that I didn't think she was going to be in this game. She's a tricky-based character, 2,000 points, Delprete. She is the only character in this game that can, 1, drain your ability, 2, drain your burning gauge, and 3, drain your life. Well, technically, the third part is not really a special ability, but she's the only character that can do all 3 at once. So, her Hollow Ghost, which she uses, her Hollow abilities, allows her to reduce a person's burning gauge by 1 bar. Or 2 bars, actually. 1 or 2 bars, depending if you use the enhanced version. It is really strong, because for players that utilize their Uni chains in terms of combos or utilize their Uni assists, this just makes it say stop. Like, she doesn't really do good as a fighter, but she works as a good hinderer. She's one of the best hindering characters in this game, and that is what her definition of what actually defines her character, basically. Man, I'm just really getting tongue twisted today. What is going on with me? Okay, other than that, what can I else say about Perona? She has the suckiest ultimate. It's actually the only counter in the game. I'm just kidding. It's not really that bad. Next up is Soba. Soba is one of the most popular characters with newcomers. He is a speed type character. He has some points, Delprete, hockey. The thing about Soba that I find really weird too is that he's not famous in high levels. Now, in terms of beginner levels, when starting out, people love this guy. But I think it's usually because when a person is new in the game and it's their first time appearance, of course they're going to become really popular. At the very beginning of the Burning Blood saga, he was very popular, but then I just stopped seeing him. Now, when I do see him, he still is the Soba I dream of. But yeah, I just don't see him as much as I used to. Now, this character has a very cool combo game, which allows him to, for one, do a complete hockey imbued combo. Because due to the fact that he actually has hockey, one of his special moves actually is hockey based. So he can actually run a hockey midway, use this move, and just be completely okay. Or just not have to worry about anyone actually loading out of it. Of course, doesn't do that much damage, and he has one unblockable special move as well. Now, if he loses his Delprete ability, it doesn't affect him as much because only one move in his arsenal actually uses it. So other than that, it's like Soba is basically a character without Delprete. Now, he is affected by Garp support and other moves that will basically downgrade him from being a Delprete character, but he has nothing really to worry about. Other than that, he's very all-around, despite him being a speed character. I'm talking about all-around as in, like, there's nothing really bad I can say about him except his damage output isn't that good, but that's if you don't get his combos. Okay, Koala. She is a 2,000 point speed character, another character that I did not think was going to be in this game. Actually, I didn't even know who she was. I had to look her up. But Koala is the best speed character in this game. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care about Marco. I don't care about Soba. I don't care about Kaziru. I don't care about Luffy 3K. Koala is the best speed character in this game. She is hands down best speed character in this game. She is one of the strongest speed characters in this game. She can actually do a 50% combo. She has like all of Jinbei's best moves. Not really, not all of them, just 2 special attacks. She has insane red abilities. She will not let you get away. If you do not have Logi, you're getting rushed. You can jump attack, you can jump in all you want. Koala doesn't care. Koala will come in with that special movement, duck under you, and kick you in the face. Okay guys, so that's the whole base set, the base roster, One Piece Burning Blood. I hope it kind of got a little idea, or hope you got a little idea about what's going on with these characters. A little gimmicks, a little passives, all the stuff that the characters have to offer. Now remember, like I mentioned before, I didn't explain everything, so you're going to have to actually pick these characters up to actually figure out, oh yeah, I forgot, I did a actual guide on Burgess and Frankie, so you can look at those. I probably got a guide on a lot of other characters I've forgotten, but those are, oh, and Nami. I did one on Nami too. Yeah, I did one on Nami. So, like I said, check them out in training mode yourself, look at the character guides, possibly look at some gameplay. Now, there is going to be a first 10 session, or first 10 event happening this Saturday, and it's going to feature 2 players that I know good and well that play non-meta variation teams. Like Amar plays a very good mix of different characters, and then Roanora also plays a very good mix of different characters. So you might actually see Soba, you might even see Nami in those. So check those out, look at those, and you may see those characters in action in high-level play. If not, you can always look at my first 10 videos and also a lot of casual videos, and they'll pop up every now and again. So thanks for watching.